Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Motivation, a devotional to uplift and encourage you for the week ahead. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm talking about worry. We are all familiar with this word and have felt its impact in our lives at some point or the other. The dictionary definition of worry uses terms such as anxiety, unease, uncertainty, and states that to worry means to allow one's mind to dwell on difficulties and troubles, and that's true. But I like how the Greek word for worry goes a bit further and gives us a word picture, defining worry as being pulled apart in opposite or different directions. This is such an appropriate description of what worry feels like. When we worry, we feel as though we are being pulled in different directions. We feel like we're on the proverbial hamster's wheel, going around in circles but really going nowhere. We feel like we're stuck, as though nothing will change and nothing will happen how we want it to or when we want it to. And I want you to note what I said: how we want it to and when we want it to. This world is filled with worries and cares about even making it to the next day, about rising food cost and cost of living, about wars, about health issues, about pandemics and epidemics, and the list goes on. On a more individual level, there are worries about our loved ones, about job security. For the student, there may be worries about being accepted by peers or passing that exam. People worry about paying their mortgage or rent, being able to pay their bills, or just keeping a business going. Worry can even make sleep difficult, as our minds can't seem to stop the vicious cycle of thoughts on a constant loop. Worry drains us of even the will to get up and go, to have healthy and productive interaction with others. It so clouds our vision that at times we believe that the situation will never change for the better and that it is hopeless, and that itself leads to despair and can even cause you to totally give up on life altogether. But this is one of the biggest lies the devil has sold us. It is no wonder that Jesus repeatedly commanded his disciples, and by extension us, to not worry. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 25 to 34, in the New King James Version, the word worry is used 6 times in these 10 verses, as Jesus gives 3 basic necessities of life and repeatedly states for each one, do not worry. Now, on the surface, it may seem that Jesus dealt only with these 3 basic elements of eating, drinking, and clothing. And one may think that life is much more than these 3 things. But scientists have said that without food and drink, especially water, man cannot survive, and without proper or even minimum clothing, basic survival is drastically reduced, even if food and drink are available. So when Jesus touched on these 3 areas, he was being very holistic and incorporated everything that applies to life as we know it. And why does he admonish us to not worry? Firstly, the same God who created and gave us life can certainly be trusted with the tiniest detail of our lives, and he is more than able to provide everything we have need of. Secondly, worry is really an expression of lack of trust or faith in God and his ability to supply our needs. Therefore, worrying is actually a sin. When we worry about our future, our lives, and our circumstances, we are essentially saying to God that he's unable to provide for us, that he's not who he said he is, and this is unbelief. This is the same sin that the Israelites were guilty of in the wilderness, and it led them to commit idolatry and caused them not to enter into the promised land. Thirdly, worry exalts itself above God. When there's a situation before us and we don't know how to fix it, we can wear ourselves out trying to do it in our own strength and through our own resources and abilities. And this puts self in the driver's seat of our lives, and this is wrong. God doesn't want us to be pulled apart in different directions as we go through life. He doesn't want us living distractedly and anxious about all that is going on around us. Don't let worries about tomorrow, worries about outcomes, worrying about paying bills affect your relationship with God. Today, be reminded that as you seek Him first, He who is called Jehovah Jireh will provide your needs even before you ask Him. Remember who He is. He does not change. He is still God, the same God that caused water to gush forth from a rock so that Israel can drink. He's the same God who caused Simon Peter to catch a fish with money in its mouth so that he can pay his taxes. He is still the same God who fed thousands with 5 loaves and 2 fish and had enough left over to fill 12 baskets. He's the same God who supplied food for the widow and her son when they had nothing to eat and caused her even to get out of debt. He's the same God who opened prison doors for Paul and Silas and who also brought Peter safely out of jail. So I encourage you, trust Him today. Cease from trying to figure it out and from trying to work it out on your own. God is not only the Alpha and Omega, but He's also everything in between. And He's both the author and finisher of your story. So let Him work it out for you. Throw every care, every worry on Him today. Take them off yourself and cast them on Him. He is more than able to not only carry them, but to take care of them for you. Know that in Christ, you have everything you need. So trust God and don't worry. This has been Monday Morning Motivation. Join me again next Monday morning at 6 o'clock as we deal with the second part of worry, because I want to go into part 2. So I want you to join me next Monday at 6 o'clock in the morning right here on YouTube. And I want to remind you, please, to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so you'll know whenever we go live. Have a wonderful week and God bless all of you.